Good evening, everybody. Welcome. Dr. Rao here. And I had a very good day today because some of my friends came to that workshop and we had a very good workshop happen. It was all day long from 10 o'clock to 3 p.m. Two sessions. The morning session, we kind of talked about things that we could change, we could do, something that we could learn here and now, today, and apply them in our regular life. So, my friends were there, and we talked about what can we do to improve our mobility, and what can we do to improve our energy, and what can we do for the spiritual quest as a whole, and what can we do for improving muscle tone. Discussion about the muscle tone, insulin resistance in diabetes happened. So, in the afternoon session, I showed them the simple things that they do to be mobile all the time, like formal aerobic exercise like yoga aerobics, and then also whenever I have the phone calls or whenever I'm listening to you guys on this app or in the Noom Vibe and other apps, I kind of get up and do some stuff as I'm listening to the talks, right? Just moving, walking around, or just doing one leg to other leg, that kind of movements. So I showed them that, and also maybe having a ball and squeeze it in the arm, or maybe having small weights and then do individual exercise, simple like that. Whatever happens to be nearby, whatever I like, we do that. Then I talked about not depleting our energy with a lot of wasteful thoughts around our tasks we have to do. So developing attention, not thinking unnecessarily, that helps a lot about saving the energy. And a lot more we talked about it. And muscle tone, when you do with small weights, how you can increase the muscle tone while staying in bed or sitting in the chair, you can do that. And uh, we talked about spiritual quest in a way. So this is very encouraging to me because I felt very good after sharing whatever I could share, and the response of the participants was very good. I thank Peter, thank Janet, I thank Elizabeth, and thank Rohini, and also Dharani, all the five people that came along. So we plan to do this more frequently, and so that people can get some practical things that they could do in their daily life. Okay. So after that, I read a news report from India. My wife showed me because there was a new movie is getting released, and then that movie has a lot of hype and a lot of publicity, and then it really it went really crazy. Like we see people dashing into the shops at the Black Fridays like that, right? They crashed into the movie theater, and then there was some real crushing of the people, and one mother of two children died, and a couple of other people too. So I was kind of disturbed because something like that should happen. What happens to these small children, right? So I began to think about it and express my thoughts in a blog post, which I'm going to publish pretty soon after this talk. So it's about entertainment versus uh, versus enlightenment. You see, when you do that, um, you can see whether that entertainment or enlightenment, which is the balance that we should do. I enjoy movies, I enjoy some of the games and all that, but then I don't do them as the only thing, right? So we have to find a balance in this really distracted world, right? So I can look at the allure of the entertainment. See? It's ubiquitous. It is everywhere in our modern life. Okay? From movies to music to social media and gaming, we enjoy them, right? Actually, it provides an escape from the rigors of daily life. It's fun, engaging, and often a way to uh, connect with others, right? A lot of people play online games too. However, it has a fleeting nature. See, the pleasure we derive from entertainment is often temporary and also leaving us craving for more, right? Um, See, when we overindulge in that, entertainment can become addictive. It pulls us into a cycle of seeking instant gratification, fostering self-centeredness, and also distracting us from our responsibilities. I'm not saying everybody, only some people. Versus, it may numb us to life's deeper experiences, keeping us trapped in the superficial. Okay, that's an opinion. It's not like a statement that everybody is like that. Okay, whereas the call of enlightenment, on the other hand, offers lasting fulfillment. Right? It is the process of peeling back layers of illusion to discover the truth of who we are. That's what I always rave about, right? Discover who we are. Enlightenment isn't about withdrawing from life, it's about engaging with the life fully with clarity and purpose, right? So, where entertainment offers temporary pleasure, enlightenment provides enduring peace. It fosters compassion, kindness, and a sense of interconnectedness with all beings, right? Instead of distracting us from our duties, enlightenment really inspires us to approach them with mindfulness and love, right? That's what I really like about enlightenment, right? Uh, why the contrast matters. See, the pleasure of entertainment, while delightful, can often mean that we are complacent or it makes us complacent. It's easy to neglect the responsibilities or lose ourselves in a cycle of consumption. Around the world, this is happening, right? Enlightenment, on the other hand, aligns us with a life's deeper purpose. It encourages us to act in a way that benefit both ourselves and others. See, when entertainment feeds the senses, enlightenment nourishes the soul. Entertainment is often about escapism. Enlightenment is about engagement with life. Whereas entertainment thrives as an external stimuli, enlightenment draws from the inner stillness. These are the three changes I thought I should write it down. So we have to strike a balance. So how do we do it? Prioritize meaningful contribution. Okay. Then cultivate inner clarity. And then practice heart-centered living. And then transform entertainment into enlightenment. How do we do that? First of all, prioritizing meaningful contribution is focus on tasks that add value to life and the lives of others. Once we are fulfilled, our responsibility, small dose of entertainment can serve as a, um, light-hearted reward. That's what I do. If I do some work now, I go and reward myself, maybe a small segment of a movie or read a book or listen to a music, all that. And also, cultivating the inner clarity is the second thing I was always asking about. We have meditation, self-reflection, mindfulness. They all help us to discern when entertainment serves and when it becomes a distraction from the main things we have. So, one of the things we always talk about, practicing heart-centered living, developing compassion, self-reflection, kindness, and service in brotherhood. See, all these things let your heart tempered with intelligence, guiding you your actions in that moment, each moment, right? And finally, how can you transform entertainment into enlightenment is certain forms of entertainment like art, music, or storytelling can improve and uplift. And then becoming a stepping stone, the very music, the very thing that you play and all, stepping stone to enlightenment. This I saw with ancient Indian musicians who are always using that to reflect the inner divinity and reach that inner divinity and offer the music to them as a offering, right? I was talking to my son about that too when they did all that. Okay, so they're not mutual exclusive. This entertainment versus enlightenment. There are two sides of the human experience, right? So entertainment can refresh our mind, while enlightenment can fulfill our soul. When we cultivate some kind of discernment, we can enjoy life's lighter moments with entertainment without losing sight of our deeper purpose. That's what I feel. Okay, so the key for that for me is live intentionally, allowing entertainment to serve as a momentary pause and enlightenment to guide the overall journey. That is intentional living. In doing so, we honor both the playful and the profound aspects of the being human. You can be very playful and at the same time profound. By the way, many of the sages and monks, they are always cutting jokes, laughing, and all that. So what will you choose today? A fleeting escape or a step toward timeless wisdom? See, the choice, as always, is yours, right? So if anybody want to make a comment on that, please be my guest and come up and tell me about it, and I'll be happy to engage with you. Marian is coming up. Welcome, Marian. Nice to see you. I haven't talked to you for a while.
Hi, Dr. Rao. How are you?
I am great, Marian. Nice to see you after a long time. Huh?
No, I know. It's been a while. I do listen to you on occasion, but I don't always get on here and chat.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. So, so what do you think about this two things that we go through, entertainment and the enlightenment? I do both of them. So I'm as guilty as anybody else, but I cannot turn that entertainment into the enlightenment process, So
I think it's an amazing world we're living in right now.
Yeah.
I do. And I see every day as a new day and a new way to look at it.
Yeah.
And a new perspective.
Yeah.
And I appreciate every breath I take and every moment I take.
Exactly. I also say the same thing, Marian. I say, what are you grateful for? I say, being a human being, I'm grateful for.
Yeah, I swear, I do wake up and I'm like, thank you. I have another day to do this again. Yeah. I have no idea what's going to happen today.
Yeah.
I don't want to know. Yeah. I love the surprise of it.
Yes. That is the beauty about it. The wondering.
I don't know who I'll encounter, who I'll talk to, and who I'll listen to, but it's an amazing life.
J. Krishnamurti said one time, somebody asked him, what is the way to live daily life, sir? And he said, suppose you know that you're not going to be here tomorrow, you're going to die. What would you do? And said, I will take care of everything. I will make sure my people are protected, whatever I can do. And also ask forgive me somebody who have I hurt and all that I will do. Otherwise, I will not do because I will do that. Then he says, that is the way to do daily.
Yeah. It's funny because I was going through like old records and stuff I needed for something I'm looking for. And I have journaled for years. Years. And I said, and all I kept thinking is, if I die tomorrow, my children have a lot to read.
Yeah.
Because I wrote down a lot of my thoughts.
Yeah. One movie was there. I think Michael, I remember the actor's name. I'm not getting the last name. He made it. He actually produces videos for the kids.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and the same way, it's not Michael Douglas, somebody, he does a beautiful job. That's a beautiful movie. I think it came in 90s, maybe. It was a recording of what he wanted to say to the kids, which may not be able to understand at that age, but he want to answer all the questions that they may have about everything. And it's a beautiful way they picturize the whole thing. Very tender, very nice.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
On my iPhone, I found voice.
Yeah.
And I've learned how to record. So I also have a couple messages for my sons. If I pass, this is my wish.
Yeah.
These are my thoughts.
This happened over the long weekend we had for the, Thanksgiving. Kids are home, and I always write about how do you use some hacks at the holiday time. One of the things I was talking about is have all the fun and all the things, that's fine, but also spend some time for reflection of what's going on, what we're going to do. I did spend that time with my kids, both of them, and then I just wanted to know what is going on with their life, what they are planning, what are the things I am doing, what you do. That kind of inner intimacy, we call it. Antarangika Sarihityam in Sanskrit. Okay, that is not about just how your life is going, but what are you aspiring? What is that you want to do in life? What is that you want to contribute to life? That's the question I ask.
Oh my God, that's a deep conversation at dinner.
Yeah. No, not at dinner. Outside the dinner. Come back, Marian. It's a kind of casual talk, but emphasizing what can we reflect as a family, as people who are loving each other. We are very close inside. To promote that, it's not like a questioning them, whatever they're doing. It's like a treating them like friends and also dear ones, so that we were not curious. I don't really tell them do this, that, but I tell them whatever you do, it should be helping more people. That's all I tell.
That's nice. Yeah, that's nice. Yeah. Well, what are you putting out there for mankind?
Yeah, that's it. That's what is important. And whatever we do should be. This is in Sanskrit. It's called dharma. That means whatever you do, it should be benefiting most people, plants, animals, like that. So in that respect, you don't have to be something magnanimous, but it could be. My son said he loves teaching those kids, and he's a band teacher, right? He's the head of a high school band. Right. Even though he's young, he picked it up at around 23 years or so, this band. But he's so passionate about teaching those young kids. His whole day, he enjoys that.
Yeah.
I encourage that.
That is wonderful. He's doing what he loves.
Yeah, what he loves, and also doing because he wants to help those kids grow up in music.
That is wonderful.
Yeah.
Yeah, that I aspire to do whatever I can.
Yeah.
To make, I might not be in the profession I prefer yet, but when I encounter anybody anywhere, I like to smile and share.
Yeah.
You know, you are being seen by me. You matter.
Yeah.
You are another human being on this earth, and I love you.
Exactly. That human connection, very important. Yeah. Not about transaction.
It matters.
Yeah.
It does.
Yeah. It has become too transactional. What can do for me and what I can do for you, that kind of thing. It's not that. What it is I'm here for you as a friend, as a human being, and then how are you? That's all. Simple thing. Yeah.
Just everybody wants to be seen.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely.
And it matters. It matters. And you know, it's funny because I was just telling my cousin today about I was with a friend in the checkout line, and I was talking to the cashier, and she totally came up. My friend came up behind me very rudely, and was like talking over us, and I was like, I put my finger up, like, excuse me, I am speaking to somebody, you know?
Yeah.
It just floored me that somebody cannot see that I was engaging in conversation, and whatever is on your phone is not that important to me right now.
Exactly.
And and I was not okay with that.
Yeah. Yeah. See this question, when I saw that rush, and then a mother of two is crushed there, and they are all lamenting what will happen to those kids. Then for this, whatever movie it is, just for that, this should happen. You know, I mean, people crushing into the things. You know, what can you do? So then I said, why people are so enamored by entertainment versus enlightenment. Then I began to write about that. All these thoughts came through. And then I said, okay, I will present this to the friends. I come here and talk about that, you know. So it's a question that because we are so much involved with entertainment in so many hours, sometimes we will forget our deeper purpose, why we are here, you know. So
and that's why you're here.
Yeah.
And I love you.
Thank you.
To remind us, we're here for each other.
Yeah, that's true. That's we are all one energy.
It really is that simple.
Yeah,
we are here for each other and stop our nonsense.
Yes.
And pay attention.
Yeah. Actually, we are all in one energy.
I agree. Yeah, I agree. So, I get that.
Yeah. Lot of separation leads to lot of suffering. Lot of suffering is because of the separation. We think we are separate. Right?
Yeah, we're delusional.
Yeah.
But hopefully a lot of us will catch on and get over it.
They are catching on. Things are going that way.
I agree.
Yeah. So
I agree. I agree. People are awakening.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Thanks,
great talking to you.
Yeah, thanks, Marian. Thanks for coming up. Yeah, sure. Yeah. So nice to see Marian after some time. And I really agree with her that we are really, I kind of feel and also realize that we are all one energy. No doubt. That's why I kind of focus so much on the wellness of everybody, because that is not really taken seriously as much as all the striving in the life without getting our instrument ready, our body mind complex, and also our inner essence. That leads to a lot of times breeding these chronic diseases underneath. We may talk about diet, exercise, all those wellness things, but a lot of people are doing very good job, all the coaches, and more awareness of these things are there. But still, why the chronic diseases are growing more and more, and then more and more people are suffering from chronic disease, because we cater so much of resources for when you get sick, you come to the healthcare system, we will fix it. We do a wonderful job about that. That's there. But we don't get and dig into why they have become sick. What are the lifestyles that is causing? That's where I'm really focused on. processed food. Why everybody accepting that? And lack of activity, sedentary nature of our jobs and all that. Why people are accepting that? Today, in our workshop, we spent a lot of time about how can we mobile our functional fitness all through the day. And important thing is the creature comforts that we get used to, they make us less mobile. So paying attention to the creature comfort, is that real or is that healthy? Is there something that we want to look at and then get rid of it? That kind of thing. So I get up when I'm speaking on the phone with somebody, I walk around, and I also have this, strings, and I do that exercise. So every opportunity I get, either I move or I do something, that helps me to be really healthy even at the age of 70 now. And I can move, I can do what I want, I can really go and walk on the treadmill, go out and on the bike and all those things. Don't do overly, do with your capacity, but move. Move the body, but keep the mind silent. That is the dictum I always say, move the body, which I do, and keep the mind silent. Use mind in awareness. That means be aware, don't go carry on chattering in your mind no matter what time it is, and then bring in the wonderful faculty of thought when you are doing something, and then finish it out. Go back to your awareness, which is thoughtless silent state, right? So this question that I had responding to a societal event that happened, so I wanted to pay attention to this and then write a blog post and put an article in my LinkedIn. So I'm going to do that. But basically, living intentionally and really knowing entertainment, what it is, and then allowing it to serve as a momentary pass. But enlightenment is the overall journey, towards the overall journey. So in between, you have some entertainment, that's okay, I think. Otherwise, you can be addicted to it. You can lose sight of your real purpose, and also you can spend a lot of time wasted away while your real responsibilities are eating. And then a lot of industry is about making a lot of money by making you a slave to the senses. That's also not important in enlightenment, because you got to withdraw your senses, withdraw outgoing intellect and mind to you to discover who you really are. So anybody else agrees with me and have some thoughts on this, please come up and let me know. What do you think about it? I just popped up because I was taking a break after our workshop, and then my wife made this beautiful snack which is called pakodas. They are kind of onions slashed into small pieces, and then they dip them in a yellow powders like and all that butter and then deep fry them. Few of them very good because they go well with our herbal tea. The taste goes well. So I had that, and then I had. She told me about this news. Then I was thinking about it. Why so much craziness about this entertain yourself all the time? I remember, I think J. Krishnamurti wrote a letter one time. He was talking about, he was staying in this small town. In that town, he could hear somebody playing, India, I know that because all the doors, everything is open, right? He was listening to something in the opposite house. Constantly, they are playing the radio, right? The songs are coming all the time. And they said, the radio never stops. It goes from morning till evening. But at the end of it, it doesn't make any difference in their lives in terms of meaningful living, right? It may entertain them briefly, but it doesn't touch their fundamental core with their anxiety, with their fear, with their feeling lonely, or anything like that, or not having any love, or not having any brotherly hurt and all that. I thought that was so true. And if you can really want to turn inside and be there for a while, not being tempted by outward senses, then you are on the way for the spirituality, right? It used to be like that, very simple outward life and also very rich inward life. But now, complicated outward life, we need so many things, electronics and all that, entertainments and all that, but very little inward, real seriousness. People may think, oh, I'm thinking very, very much and all that, but you got to go beyond that, to really touch your real inner essence. That's what the essential yoga is. You want to still the modulation of the mind so that your real essence is shown outward, and then that becomes your guiding light. Otherwise, your consciousness goes into the thoughts, whatever you have, and then it will go. It's always outward, never allowing your inward essence to come out. Right? That's what it is. Okay. So, something about this workshop we did today. I plan to do that more regularly, because I found it can help my friends much more, and I'll have a focused attention of what they want to change in their life. Okay, it's not about me telling them and their, but it could be something about their body, like a diabetes we talked about, but we talked about muscle tone, how it is important to keep the your insulin resistance low. Okay, and also we talked about hypoglycemia, its serious effects, how we should be doing, and all that. We talked about other things too. And somebody really had a question of the divinity in all, how that way divinity can be appreciated and all that. So we went a little bit deeper into the spiritual quest of that person, and then their conclusions. We also talked about how can you keep our body mobile, moving all the time. What are the simple things that you can do? You just have to incorporate routines into your daily routine. Okay, so I showed them that too. And then we talked about energy, how we are wasting the energy all the time, and then we complain we are exhausted, either emotionally, physically, and all that we are exhausted. But all the time we're understanding there is something called ever renewing energy with the contact with the world, with what you are doing, with what the people you are working with. You can watch yourself and then not to really deplete the energy by unnecessary thinking or unnecessary reacting. That goes on quite a bit. So then your limbic system responds imaginary dangers and all that, and then it can produce the fight or flight associated symptoms, and also the hormones, the stress hormones that are there. But if you can really go over your limbic system to the prefrontal cortex, let be that discernment, take time, and then pause and judge yourself. That's much better. Okay, we're supposed to do that because we have the evolved prefrontal cortex, all of us. But you get caught in the lower limbic system, and you are in a limbic loop all the time. Fear, aggression, something like that, all the time goes. Okay, we talked about that at length. So these are their questions, and these are their problems that we want to start. And then I was delighted to talk about that and tell them, convey to them what I have been knowing this and doing that in my, not only my medical practice, but later on also. And that was very meaningful to us. The spiritual quest is kind of, it's not going to happen one day, but to be on the way is what we talked about, and also that is their individual personal journey, right? And as they're going on, you can show the light and all that, but then you cannot do it for them. and they cannot copy you and do it either. So it's the individual case. So we talked about that at length, So all these issues, when I talked, I said, I should do this more often. I should, that seemed to be more meaningful to me and to them also. So I said, I do a lot of talks and mostly one way, but this kind of, feedback, this kind of input from the people who I'm trying to help or who I'm trying to really understand and then be with them, I thought this was really good, So I had more happiness doing that, So I thought I will do that, more of maybe every month, this kind of thing, one Saturday, and then spending time with them. And also, I introduce them to other things I'm doing, right? Like I'm doing the NEW, Nurturing Elderly Wise People, and also Wellness Club in the morning and in the evening, So they were interested in that too. So that kind of continuity may help people who are in a real meaningful either bodily complaints, mental complaints, or emotional or spiritual things, because I've been working with this for some time, and then it could be like a stimulating conversation and also developing some things that we should talk about, So mobility, energy, spiritual quest, and the muscle tone, these are four things we talked about. Muscle tone, for example, if your furniture really is your enemy in this. We have this very soft sofas, beds, and all that, right? And if you allow the body to really go for the creature comfort, that will take away a lot of the tone of the muscles. So in the hospital also, there used to be a time when we were not making the patient get up and walk on the same day. Early ambulation, we call it, right? That was discovered by a Japanese farmer, and in his own farm, in his own field, he discovered that how good it was to get the animals up right away, and how they did after the delivery and all that. They did the same thing with humans. After delivering a child, the woman is made to get up and then regain all her tone much better. Okay, and from then onwards, we put it in the post-surgery and post-recovery in anything. Okay, the early you ambulate a patient safely, the better it is for the patient. Okay, the same thing applies to us. Even if you lie down in the bed during the daytime in a Sunday or Saturday, that's what happens to a lot of people. They lie down in the bed on Sunday. When they want to go to work on Monday morning, they have to push themselves, or they have to, resent it, and they have to complain about it and all that. That's because their body is not cooperating. Their body lost tone. That's why it does work. And they even elderly also, lots of time, what do you do? We make them sit down. We make them do less. We make them don't climb stairs. And all that is, we are not creating minor challenges for them to improve their physical fitness level. Like, you don't have to make them run and do all that, but then don't make them sit down for prolonged period unnecessarily. Let them move, let them do some stuff. Or getting up, I showed them what is the yogic way of standing, yogic way of sitting, and how can you improve the muscles that are associated with that. Okay, that also helps people. So all in all, it was meaningful for us, the workshop, and this thing came, so I thought I'll talk about it. Anybody else has any interest to come up and talk about anything? You can come up. Okay, Marianne is coming back. That's good.
Well, nobody else was coming up, so Dr. Rao, I'll hear it.
I think that's what happens. Only one or two people come usually, but that's okay.
That's okay, right?
Yeah, that's okay. It never stopped me to come up and talk about things here. I do.
Well, I have walked with you in the park in the mornings, and you have been there for me in the past. So I'm just going to share how my day started today.
Yeah.
I had a good night's sleep, and I followed that little inner voice.
Yeah.
And I need sunlight. I need to walk in the park.
Yeah.
I am grateful that I am close to water.
Yeah.
Because I feel I ground closer to water.
Yeah.
I'm near the Delaware River in Philadelphia. So
I was there, Maria. My friends were there, a couple of psychiatrists.
Oh,
yeah.
So I felt drawn to take a walk in the park.
Yeah.
Even though it's 31 degrees, I throw a coat in my back seat and a hat, and I'm ready for any weather.
Yeah.
I took myself to the park today because I needed it. Yeah. I needed grounding. I needed the water. Yeah. I felt the draw.
Yeah.
So I did that.
Yeah.
I did that. I did a 2-mile walk in the cold, and I felt wonderful. Yeah. I was grateful. For
I live on the banks of Mississippi. Right? You're right here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We have huge gardens here, and then we enjoy the colors change and all that. So I enjoy the winter, I enjoy the fall, and I enjoy the summer too. When I first came to Chicago from India, I came from 117 Fahrenheit to minus.
Seriously?
Yeah.
To Chicago?
Chicago. So they were dressing me in all sorts of layers. I said, what is this? This is so heavy, I can't carry them. But they said, you cannot take it. Yeah. So I how I overcome that is I used to dress up, layered, but then I used to go into the forest preserve, which was close to us, and then walked on the road that was cleaned in the forest preserve. And that's how I acclimatize myself to this country.
Okay. Yeah. I get that. Big extreme changes in temperature, trust me, right?
And also, there was no sun for days and days.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, there, every day sun, from that to this is a culture shock in so many ways. One of them is this, but I got used to it, and then now I can go in a very low temperature, and then take my car and go and do whatever I want to do. And I have never backed away from ice and all that, because I know how to handle that, because I lived in Chicago for 8 years.
Chicago will break you.
Yeah. But I liked it that though, because the lake showed different colors during different seasons. And the ice and the snow, and sometimes it was so heavy because I was by the lake, right? So lakeside effect was too bad, and it was suffering that way. No doubt about it. But I survived that.
Extreme.
Yeah, extreme. Yeah. Anyway, that provided me my medical career, and I grew up. Actually, I consider Chicago my second home after my Indian home, Guntur. I consider Chicago. I feel so comfortable there when I go there.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is such an extreme.
Yeah. It's not only temperature, but then I found Chicago a lot of cultural factors that are very good. The museums, the events, the community, and all that is really helped me to acclimatize and adjust to the society better.
Well, that's wonderful. Yeah, no, I love the 4 seasons, and I embrace them all.
Yeah. Thank you, Maria. That's Lesia.
Thank you.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Okay. See, that's one of the things. If you have this cardinal rhythms, we call them, If you have them and you are familiar with it, when you move to a new temperature, new atmosphere, you better try to acclimatize yourself by exposing to it in a minor gradient, and then you will be able to handle the weather better and also not get injurious because of that. I never got frostbite. I never got anything because I understood what are the dangers of extreme thing. And also, I winterized my car. There is a couple of gallons of gas in the car so that in case we get stuck in the traffic, we want to have the gas so that we have heat like that. The entire winter raising kit was there all the time. And also I saw many people, cars going out of order and they were stuck on the highways and all that. So I always bought only new cars. I never bought a old car. I changed 6, 7 cars so far in my life. But each time I bought a new car, so that kept me 3 or 4 years, no problems usually. I never really entered into that kind of problems because Chicago showed me how many people are on the highway suffering that. It's fortunate that I was able to buy those new cars, and then I kept them for some years, and then I kind of sold them off. Uh, so anyway, look for my workshop happening again, and then you can send me DMs of what you would like to discuss with me and how we can plan for that. And also this new memberships of NEW and also the Wellness Club. I'm going to make them available for more people to come in. Usually people come by word of mouth with me. I don't really advertise, but I'm willing to help people if they send me DMs, and lots of times those things happen. And I kind of I love to really interact with people like that and then see if I have anything that I could contribute for their well-being. So that's the privilege of being a doctor, and also after that a yogi and all that, right? So thank you. If anybody wants to come up, last chance. Otherwise, I'll close the room. It's 7 o'clock now, so maybe other people are coming up to do things. So thank you very much, and I will see you again later. Bye bye.